ratings of these players. So I mean, if the Grand Slams, the WTA and the Tennis Association, the ATP, are not able to solve these issues, I mean, we can see other people taking advantage of this situation.
Definitely, if this issue is not solved amicably, maybe just maybe the Saudis can, of course, capitalize on the loopholes and pounce on some of these top players and poach them in. Don't forget, Palebo talked about the Professional Golfers Association, that is the PGA and the LIV. All right, of course, the aftermath of the breakout where some players as well left, and I know the Saudis will be keeping close tab on this particular one. If there is serious disagreement from the Tennis Association alongside of course, the Players Association, this might just be a loophole for the Saudis to capitalize and see how to poach players away from that. I will just hope that they can be able to find a common ground in order to resolve this amicably. But beyond that, Palebo, the players, you think they are right in what they are asking? Because they complained a lot about the loads and fixtures of the calendar last season. Even this season as well, we have not had any news that, the calendar has been de-escalated. We still have loads and loads of games fixed within the calendar. So because of that, I think the players are right to demand for more. Hence, more money is coming. They should also get chunks of the money, because taking part every now and then in some of these competition, which the professional tennis players have complained that it causes injury to them, because they are effectively and fervently taking part in every major tournament. So I think they are fighting a just cause.
Yes, obviously they are fighting a just cause, because when you look at the revenues that are being made in these Grand Slams, I mean, they do not reflect what these players earn, and that has been the biggest problem of these players. I mean, this tournament would not be what it is without these players, without the franchise, the names these players have created. This franchise would not hold its name. So that's been the problem for these players, because the player knows, the power they have, and the franchise and what they bring in. And I mean, if these names, if these top players, pull out of the competition, we will see a reduction, in seats, in this crowd and population, and how people, companies also will want to invest in this tournament. So these players have started knowing their worth. They know what they are actually worth, and are asking the Grand Slam that, hey, what we actually want is for you to actually pay us what we want. We want to be given a fair share of the revenues that are being generated. I mean, they play a very huge role, in the revenues that are being generated by the Grand Slam. So I mean, they are asking that our pay needs to be increased. It's not about increasing our money by $1 million. I mean, we need to earn more. Look at what you are earning, and look at the money coming into the Grand Slam. Look at the money that's being pumped through the Grand Slam, through these players' names, through their franchise, and look at what these players are earning from it. I mean, that has been the players, that has been their headache. And what they are asking now from the ATP is that this money, it should reflect the values and the worth and what they actually bring into the Grand Slams.
This money should, reflect the values and the hard-fought effort put in by these players. Away from that, let's dive straight to the African Cup of Nations, because the Super Eagles have booked a place in the AFCON 2025 quarterfinals with a commanding 4-0 victory over Mozambique in their round of 16 clash in Fez in Morocco yesterday. The Eagles started strongly, building on their perfect group stage record, having won all 3 matches to top Group C. Mozambique, however, making their first ever appearance in the round of 16 after finishing as one of the best third-place teams in Group F, struggled to cope with Nigeria's pace and attacking threat. With the win, the Super Eagles advanced to the quarterfinals, maintaining their momentum as they chase a 4th AFCON title. They will now face the winner of the match between Algeria and Congo, which is currently on as we speak right now. We'll do well to see if we can track the result for you before we leave. So the Super Eagles yesterday, it was more like a total dominance against the Mozambicans, expectedly though. Did you see them, scoring as much goal as 4, or you think that they should have scored more goals, hence they were facing more like a lesser opponent.
To be honest, I didn't expect the Super Eagles to have it that easy against the Mozambicans, but they were able to get their own together. And I mean, if not for the likes of Ronaldo and the goalkeeper of that side, Nigeria should have more goals up. So Nigeria were entirely fantastic. I mean, Iwobi has been superb, and you look at the defense, the confidence the boys have. You look at the midfield, Onyeka has been really fantastic. He's really earned his place in this team, and also indeed he has been able to bring balance to that midfield. We've seen the fluidity in our attack, the likes of Ademola, Lookman, Victor Osimhen, Akwa Adams. I mean, they've been able to create a lot of that creativity spark has been there. The boys have seemed to click. I mean, the first time in a lot of years, and I mean in previous years, in about 4 to 5 years, we finally found that attack that's usually clicked. I mean, it has been a problem looking for that attacker that will be able to support Victor Osimhen. And Akwa Adams has fitted into that role. I mean, he walked into the Super Eagles team, just after 3 games. This is something we see on a rare occasion, but Akwa Adams have been able to do that. I mean, you look at his footballing work, how he has been able to work hard. We see the boys, even at the 80th minute, we saw the likes of Iwobi, Ademola, Lookman, Akwa Adams. These men were pressing on the ball, and this is not something we've seen. And we have to give the props and, the accordance to Eric Chell. He has been able to build a team, a solid team for this Nigerian side. They've been able to play good football, what Nigerians have been yearning for over the years. And so a lot of Nigerians are happy. The Nigerian supporters are really happy with the performance. And yes, we've been able to keep our first clean sheet in this edition of the AFCON. So I mean, the team has seemingly improved, but let's not get our hopes very high, because this is against an inexperienced Mozambique side that this is their first time, going into the round of 16 in this competition. So for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, it is really a good result for us. I hope we'll be able to build on this one going into the latter stages of this competition.
All right, a good result for the Super Eagles as they wallop their opponent, Mozambique, 4 goals to nothing. But beyond the result, there was an incident which actually overshadowed the victory of the Super Eagles involving Victor Osimhen and his teammate Lookman Ademola. We saw Victor Osimhen, ranting, and at some point he asked the coach to sub him off, even when the final whistle was blown in the match. While his teammates were up there on the pitch celebrating, he walked down straight to the tunnel. Epalebo, what do you make of that attitude? Because it has got so many Nigerians talking.
I mean, and for me, it's a disgusting and it's a very nasty attitude from Victor Osimhen. I mean, for someone who is among the hierarchy in the leadership ranks of the Super Eagles, I do not expect that from him. I mean, he's the vice captain of the Super Eagles currently, and you expect him to be more cautious of his behavior, of his temperament. I mean, I think on an earlier edition of this show, when me and Ekpo Temple were talking, I told him that I do not see Victor Osimhen as a captain material, and these are the issues and these are the problems I stated. Because I mean, when you see a player like Victor Osimhen, he has problem with his temperament. He does not know how to control his anger, and we've seen it. This is not the first time it's happening. He had same issues with Fini the Judge, the ex-coach of the Super Eagles, and where he came out, openly blasting the Super Eagles coach, the ex-Super Eagles coach, on an unofficial reports made by blogs. So I mean, when you look at the track record of Osimhen, it tells you how someone in his prime, a player like Victor Osimhen in his prime, is still wallowing in the Turkish league, in Galatasaray. Someone who is supposed to be playing, especially in a season when a lot of top clubs were looking for strikers out and out nine. It tells you about his character. This is an issue that he needs to work on if he wants to be graded among the best. If he wants to be ranked among the best strikers in his generation, he needs to work on his character. I mean, you look at him talking to Victor. We need to look at how this issue started. Yes, it was about Bruno Oyemichi, wasting a chance that he shouldn't. To be honest, he should have passed in that incident. But I mean, when the game is at that 3-0 scoreline, Nigeria were controlling the ball. Everybody wants, a piece of the cake. Everybody wants to try to get a goal for themselves. So I mean, Victor Osimhen, he should have learned to control his temper. Bruno Oyemichi tried to apologize to Victor Osimhen, but Victor Osimhen wasn't having any of it, and Lookman tried to step in, and we saw that outburst from Victor Osimhen. So I mean, that was not a good one. Also, the game against DR Congo, we saw something of that sort again against, and he had that same altercation with Ademola Lookman before he was substituted at halftime. And after that altercation, he refused to engage in play. He was just lackadaisical when it comes to the passage of play, and he also asked to be substituted. I expected that, yes, maybe he was in the moment of anger, but at the end of the game, he should have walked up to the fans of Nigeria. He should have appreciated the fans of Nigeria. It's not easy, looking at the situation, the economic situation of Nigeria. A lot of fans spend their hard-earned money going to the stadium there to support you, and you could not at least, go out there to support the team, to show your appreciation to these fans who have spent their hard-earned money to come to that stadium to watch you. So I mean, that was very disappointing from Victor Osimhen. I do not expect that kind of character from a player like Victor Osimhen. It is very sportsmanly from him, and he needs to apologize, especially to the Nigerian fans.
Need to apologize to Nigerian fans out there. The coach asking him to be asking the coach to substitute him at that point in time. That is more like a disrespect to the coach. But then, with all of this, do you think that the coach has the authority to stamp, of course, his authority within the team after the whole incident on the pitch of play? He can go back to the dressing room and, of course, call these boys together, call Victor Osimhen, and tell him that this should not repeat itself again next time, because Victor Osimhen is not above the team. Nobody should be above the Super Eagles. When one man, act as though he is the author and finisher of the team, it becomes very worrisome. Do you think that Eric Chell has that charisma to meet Victor Osimhen to call him to apologize in the team?
Obviously, we heard from, Wilfred Ndidi, the captain of the side. He said, the issue has been addressed and everybody has made up. And we also saw, a post from Ademola Lookman earlier in the day, where he posted a picture of him and Victor Osimhen saying together, they can bring the trophy to Nigeria. So I mean, these are issues in the height of the moment, but we shouldn't forget that no player is indispensable. Any player can be dropped. We've seen players greater than Victor Osimhen, Rashidi Yekini, in all his might and what he was able to achieve for the Super Eagles. He never showed this kind of character. So I mean, he can be dropped. He can be dropped from the team. But I mean, there's no need for that, especially when restitution has been made, when the players have been able to make up, going for the tournament. I mean, we need to look at it in this context, looking at how Nigeria has not been able to qualify for the World Cup. So this is the Super Eagles' only opportunity to make it up for Nigeria. And I mean, they need to cut out any distraction, and this is one of those distractions. So I mean, they need to put everything behind them. The coach also needs to call out Victor Osimhen, but I do not see any reason for Victor Osimhen being chopped from the national team.
All right, we hope that all these issues has been amicably resolved, and the Super Eagles can forge ahead and start preparing massively against their next opponent, which might probably be DR Congo or Algeria. In the other game, Palebo, we saw Egypt beat Benin Republic 3-1 with Mo Salah being on the score sheet. You think that the influence of Mo Salah will take this Egyptian team far?
Unfortunately for the Benin Republic and Genetro, Genetro was able to build a defensively solid team going into this competition. But the goalkeeper of Benin Republic, for me, he made 2 blunders. I mean, after the team were able to take it to extra time, I expected him to put up a man of the match or to help the team, at least get into penalty shootout. But he wasn't able to do that, and I mean that he shattered the confidence of the team in that game. So it wasn't really down to Mo Salah for me. It was down to the Benin Republic side. The Egyptian side were not really fantastic for me. Mo Salah was not into that game so much. Omar Mamouche was trying here and there, but I mean, Mo Salah was heating up. He wasn't really famous in that game. He wasn't able to put in that performance you expect him to put in. But it's a good one that Egypt were able to win that game. But Mo Salah needs to step up, especially going into the latter stages of this competition. He's going to face tougher opponents, and if he's not able to step up for his team, it's going to be a big problem for the Egyptian national team.
Big problem for the Egyptian national team if Mo Salah doesn't step up his game. But then yesterday he stepped up big to help Tunisia, rather Egypt, get over Benin Republic. All right, away from that, let's talk about one particular record because Galatasaray's star man Victor Osimhen is edging closer to breaking Rashidi Yakini's long-standing record as Nigeria's all-time top scorer. This comes after he netted a brace in Nigeria's 4-0 victory over Mozambique in the round of 16 at the 2025 African Cup of Nations in Morocco. So Victor Osimhen chasing the record of Rashidi Yakini. Rashidi Yakini is on 37 goals, while Victor Osimhen, with that brace yesterday, moves closer to him on 34. Do you see Osimhen closing the gap or equaling this number of goals before the AFCON comes to an end?
We hope he'll be able to, do that, because I mean, doing that will also mean, it will influence the result Nigeria will have in this AFCON. And I mean, the best way to do it, is winning the AFCON for himself and for the Nigeria side. You look at Victor Osimhen's career for Nigeria, and he doesn't have anything tangible to his name, for the Nigerian team. What he has is individual achievements, and getting that one again is another individual achievement. But I mean, getting all those individual achievements, without winning anything for the Super Eagles, he will not be satisfied. So I mean, we hope for him to be able to get this record. Because this is going to be a record-breaking one for him. He's going to etch his name, in the history of the Nigerian football. But for me, it's better to do it, winning the AFCON for this Nigerian team.
Better doing this, winning the AFCON title for the Super Eagles, so that posterity rather will of course speak good of Victor Osimhen. In future to come, they will say yes, he did not just he is not just the only top scorer of the Super Eagles, but then capped it all with a massive and major trophy. Winning the AFCON wouldn't be a very bad one. But then let me serve us the list of all top scorer in the history of the Super Eagles, as Rashidi Yakini is up there on 37 goals, closely followed by James Osimhen Victor on 34 goals. Mathematical Olusegun Odegbami is up there as well with 23 goals. Yakubu Ayegbeni has 21 goals. Ikechukwu Uche has 18 goals. Obafemi Martins has 18. Rather, Obafemi Martins, yes, has 18 goals, while Sunday Onyekuru has 17 goals. Odion Jude Igalo, Samson Siasia, and Ahmed Musa all has 16 goals. So Victor Osimhen chasing the record of Rashidi Yakini. All right, at this point, we'll take a quick break. When we are back in the second half of the show, we'll try to track the result of the ongoing match as we speak right now, and a big one later tonight by 8 p.m. as well. And I'll bring you some other big gist coming in from Europe. Don't forget, Chelsea Football Club have officially announced their substantive manager. Manchester United, their search for a permanent manager continues, plus other big gist in the world of sport that is set to come your way when we are back from this short break. Don't go anywhere. All right, you're welcome back from that short break. You're still on to Sport Extra on Atlantic Television Network, and Palebo is still here with me. Together, we are taking you through the happenings in the world of sport. Time for we to talk about today's counter, because a place in the quarterfinal of the AFCON is up for grab as Algeria face DR Congo in Rabat, Morocco, later today. As we speak, that match is currently ongoing, and we are still trying to track the result. Before we leave, we'll definitely let you know about that particular result. But there are other fixtures that is set to light up our TV screen tonight, talking about the African Cup of Nations, and of course other big games that is set to come tonight. It is by 8 p.m. Ivory Coast will be up against Burkina Faso. This is supposed to be a very big game. Burkina Faso, the defending, Ivory Coast, defending champion. Burkina Faso, another very stubborn and very solid, balanced side. Where do you see the pendulum swinging tonight in this one?
I mean, on paper, it goes in favor of the Cote d'Ivoire side, but going into the AFCON, I mean, you should be wary of other teams. And Burkina Faso has proven to be a side that you need to be very cautious of, especially in knockout stages of this competition. You know, these teams can be, very disciplined defensively, organized at the back, and they will make it very tough, for a team like Ivory Coast, going into this one. But we expect Ivory Coast, with the experience they have and the players they have, to be able to try to get the results in this one. But I have a feeling that, it's going to go in the favor of the Cote d'Ivoire side.
All right, let's see how this one pounds out tonight. Ivory Coast, talking about the defending champion, they will be up against Burkina Faso tonight, and it promises to be another mouth-watering clash, as the Ivorians will be hoping to outsmart Burkina Faso to hit to the quarterfinal. But then there is going to be a tough battle, because the captain of the Burkina Babes is also talking tough ahead of this clash tonight. We'll see how it's going to go. But then let's dive straight to the Premier League. It is no longer a news that Manchester United has officially brought an end to their relationship between them and, of course, Ruben Amorim, because they parted ways just a few days ago after a serious breakdown in relationship sparked by managers have spoken publicly after their 1-1 draw against Leeds United over the weekend, where he refused the portfolio and toga of being a manager. Yes, he called himself a manager rather than a coach. But then the big news here is about who should be the next man, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made himself available for this particular job. Could this be the second return of Ole at Old Trafford? Palebo, let me have your take on this. Shortly after, the sacking of Ruben Amorim, their former coach and player, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, also came up to make a bold statement that is very much available. Do you think that Manchester United should go for Ole, or they should look for another option?
There's been one, there's been one advice people have always given, is never go back to a toxic relationship. And that would be the advice I would give to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, you look at the position where Manchester United is, they are in a transition phase, and it's not going to be easy for any coach who would come in. They're in a very critical position. You look at when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came into the side, he inherited a Jose Mourinho's team that had a little bit of balance, but the context is different. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, maybe he has been able to learn, but the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer we've known doesn't really have that control, over his side. He's not a manager that has that control and will be able to control, his ego. So it's going to be a big problem for Manchester United, getting a new coach. Darren Fletcher has been appointed as an interim coach, but it's going to be hard for Manchester United to get a new coach right now. I feel it's going to be difficult. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I do not think is a right decision. Looking at him, he has not been able to impress, so far after leaving Manchester United. We have not seen anything positive from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for me. But if he's ready to go back, he should. But I do not see anything positive, coming out from that relationship.
All right, the search continues for a substantive head coach for the Manchester United side, who parted ways with Ruben Amorim a few days ago. Meanwhile, the big news this evening is that Chelsea Football Club has officially appointed Liam Rosenio as the new head coach of the men's team. Rosenio, who enjoyed a successful playing career across the Premier League and the Championship, joins Chelsea with a growing reputation in coaching. He previously held the roles in youth development and first team coaching, earning praises for his tactical acumen and his ability to nurture young talent. The clubs express confidence that the former Strasbourg coach will bring energy, fresh ideas, and stronger leadership presence to the squad as they aim to compete at the highest level domestically and in Europe as well. Liam Rosenio is the man to take over from where Enzo Maresca left. If you take a look at his coaching credentials, do you see him as the right man for this job?
I mean, he has his own pros and cons. I mean, there are two sides, there are two shades to his appointment. I mean, on the other hand, you can look at it that the board, Chelsea, has finally gotten that coach who they actually wanted. You know, the profile of coach, a yes man, someone who is able to, you know, report to the club. You know, he's a fresh, he's a modern coach. His ability, you know, his reputation is that of a thoughtful, progressive coach. He's also, you know, has a strong track record of growth. You look at his time at Hull City and how he was able to develop the team, and also in Strasbourg, you know, how he has been able to overachieve with that Strasbourg side. And also, you know, he has, you know, that ability, you know, and he has that attribute of youth development, and that is what Chelsea wants. You know, with the new management of Chelsea, with the new administration of Chelsea, that is in their DNA. You know, youth development. You know, one of the you look at him and he's been able to get at one of the deepest youth pipeline in England. So you look at Rosenio, but on the other hand, you look at it, this is a big club is coming to. This is a big club pressure. Will he be able to? Is he going to be able to, you know, match that pressure? You know, Chelsea is a global brand, and when you come to Chelsea, each move you make, every step you take will be scrutinized. You are under the pressure of the media and from the press. You know, every step and every decision you take will be scrutinized by the media. I do not think Rosenio is ready for that kind of pressure right now. And also, you know, looking at the position where Chelsea is right now, Chelsea is in the transition phase. And any manager who is coming into a club like Chelsea at this point in time, if you do not have the experience, I mean, you are going to struggle. And, you know, with, you know, high wages players and emerging talent, you know, trying to balance that team is going to be a problem for Rosenio. And also result versus, you know, the process tension. You look at Rosenio right now, the team needs that result. I'm not forgetting that they are in transition. The players, the fans need that result. You know, you should not forget Chelsea is a big club. Chelsea is a top club, and at any point in time, at every point in time, they expect the team, you know, to be performing. They expect the team, you know, to give that performance. So for me, the overall thought for me is that it's a smart and a bold decision. It is a very bold decision by the Chelsea board, bringing in Rosenio. I mean, finally, a man who has the same DNA, someone who has the same thought process, someone who is able to align himself with the DNA of the team. Is a good one having a coach. But for me, it's a very bold decision for him. The thing is, will he be able to live up to the expectation? Is he going to succumb to pressure? Is a very good one. Is it going to be a stepping stone for Rosenio? Is Rosenio going to be able to use this and, you know, build on this one, capitulate on this one, build his resume, you know, try to get results with Chelsea? So for me, it's a smart move, and it's also a risky and a bold decision, you know, from Chelsea, bringing in Rosenio as a head coach.
Smart move, bold decision, but risky as well. So more like antithesis of you know, what Rosenio brings to the table. Yes, it's very young, energetic, vibrant, has a pedigree and track record of being able to nurture young, talented, youthful players. You know, bringing that idea to this young, talented Chelsea squad. In fact, on record is there that Chelsea's squad for this season, they are the youngest as we speak in the whole of Europe top 5, because their players ranges within the age of 21, 23 and 24. So can this young man at the age of 41 be able to galvanize this team? Can he also cope with the pressure of the high demand of the owners of Chelsea who need instant result? Can they be able to be patient? Talking about patient, 6.5 years contract was given to this man. This simply means that maybe they will be patient with him. If not, it should have been 4 years or 3 years, isn't it?
I mean, also with Enzo Maresca, he was given a big contract also, signed the contract extension just before the season started. And he was sacked just halfway through the season. So, I mean, you do not know what to expect with this Chelsea side. But giving him that kind of contract shows you actually have trust in the manager. Giving someone who he doesn't have the experience in the English Premier League. And giving him that kind of contract shows you have trust and confidence. I mean, like I said earlier, the DNA and his mentality, his approach to football, aligns. He's someone who is willing to integrate some young players, and trust them, rather than hoping and banking on huge signings. So when you have that kind of coach that shares in your ideology and your mindset, your mentality, I mean, you have that confidence and trust in the coach, and that is what we've seen for these Chelsea owners. They have the confidence and they have the trust in Rosenio, and looking at what he has been able to do with Strasbourg, who is his sister club to Chelsea. I mean, that has given them, more confidence in this man. That we've seen what he has been able to do with Strasbourg with the little investment he has. How much more when we have given him, much larger investment, when we've given him high quality players, they believe he'll be able to do more. So for me, it's not a surprise that Chelsea has trusted this man with this contract.
All right, not a surprise one that Chelsea has entrusted Liam Rosenio with this future contract. Away from that, Celtic have parted a company with manager Wilfred Nancy following a disastrous run of form that saw Saturday's 3-1 defeat by Rangers mark his sixth loss in just 8 games in charge. According to UK Sport Channel on Monday, the 48-year-old signed a 2.5 years contract with the Scottish champion after concluding the Major League Soccer season with Columbus Crew, and officially took charge on December 4th. However, the team's form quickly slumped after a strong spell under interim manager Martin O'Neill, who had won 7 of his 8 games in charge. As he leaves, Celtic Nancy depart with just 5 wins in his last 20 games as a head coach of Celtic. Still talking about former Celtic coach Martin O'Neill, we hear he has officially been signed by Strasbourg. So Liam Rosario leaving Strasbourg to Chelsea, a sister club, and Chelsea going to pick the former coach of Celtic. So more like a merry-go-round. Away from that, Manchester City defender Josko Gvardiol will have surgery later this weekend after breaking his shin bone in their 1-1 draw on Sunday against Chelsea Football Club. The Croatian international, who is 23, was withdrawn after 51 minutes against Chelsea, while his fellow central defender Ruben Diaz also went off injured half an hour later. This is a very big blow for Manchester City in their title chase. One of their reliable defender, Josko Gvardiol, is out injured.
Troubling times for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. I mean, it's not a good one when you lose 2 of your key players, especially in that defense line. Losing Ruben Diaz and also Josko Gvardiol, who has been able to, impact the team, not only defensively, but also attacking-wise for the team. But we've also heard that Manchester City, are in the market, looking for options, to bolster their squad up. So, I mean, it's a tough one for Manchester City, but a good one. I mean, they are so lucky that it came at a time where the winter transfer window is about to be opened. So, I mean, they have the opportunity, to bring in a replacement for Josko Gvardiol.
All right, ample opportunity for them to bring a replacement for Josko Gvardiol, who is out injured. But we are running out of time. Palebo, Super Eagles now into the quarterfinal. They will be taking on either DR Congo or Algeria. Before we leave, just less than 30 seconds. which of these two teams will you prefer the Super Eagles to come up against?
I prefer to meet the Algerian side. I mean, the last time we met with them, the DR Congo side. I mean, they left a very bitter taste in our mouth. They denied us from going to the World Cup. So I wouldn't want them, to deny us again, a chance, in the semi-finals of the competition. Because you look at this DR Congo side, they've proven to be a very, solid team, physical team, and also, I mean, they have experienced players. So it's a tough one for me, but I would prefer, facing an Algerian side, who has been fantastic. But I believe Nigeria, has what it takes, to overpower this Algerian national team.
All right, this is where the cookies crumble on the show this evening. I'm very, very elated to let you know that Lukman Ademola is our sport extraordinaire for this evening edition of the show. You know why? He has the most goal involvement so far at the ongoing African Cup of Nations with 3 goals and 4 assists in 3 games played thus far. So he is our sports extraordinaire for today's edition of the show. I did a show this evening alongside Kingsley Epalebo. My name is Emmanuel Michael, the Prime Minister of the Airways, and I'm very, very happy to say a very good night to you.